Hello, welcome back to another stream. On today's stream, we're going to be going to Sydney, Australia from Auckland, New Zealand. It's just morning time here in New Zealand, so we're going to be going right across the ocean here, or across the, I don't know what ocean that is. Um, Basically across the way over to Sydney. We're taking the Boeing 777-300ER. Thank you guys to everyone who voted in the community polls. I take a lot of feedback from that on what planes you want to see on the channel and what routes you want to see. So the 777-300ER was voted, and instead of doing a long haul, I went ahead and looked up the shorter flights for the 777. This is one of them. Thought this was a very interesting flight to do. And the 777, haven't really been here in New Zealand or Australia, even in the sim. So thought it'd be interesting to go ahead and check it out. We are on VATSIM. No VATSIM ATC is online yet, but we'll see once once the morning continues. Let's go ahead and turn that off because I don't really like getting blasted with the airport ambiance. Okay. So yeah, so we're going to be taking the 777-300ER here across the way. So let's go ahead and we get started. I honestly don't like any of these sounds. Cockpit ambiance, don't need that. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and get the battery on. Let's go ahead and get the ground power on as well. I don't think I've flown this plane since the full flight that I did from Newark to San Francisco, so we'll see how this goes. We'll go ahead and get the IFE and cab utility on as well. So admittedly, I don't know how to fly this plane per se, but we'll go ahead and we'll kind of figure it out. Let's go ahead and we'll set up our fuel here. Our fuel load today is going to be 59,372. 59,372. Put that in there. Let's go ahead and go to payload. Our zero fuel weight today is going to be 426.8. 426.8. And we'll go ahead and load that in there. Perfect. Awesome. That's good there. Let's set the parking brake. That's good. And today we're going to be cruising at flight level 380. Okay, 380 is set. Let's go ahead and continue with overhead here. We'll arm that. Get the window heat on. Set the pumps to auto. We'll get that on as well. Our logo light is off. Nav light on. That's good. We'll get the fuel pumps on as well. That is good there. And we don't have any center tank fuel. Alright, perfect. That is good there. Let's go ahead and look at the weather. The weather here, 22017, overcast at 4,300. And then in Australia, in Sydney, 7 knots. And good visibility as well. Okay, cool. Let's go ahead and we'll set up our charts here. So we'll pin the airport information chart. We're taking the OSRUP. This one. We're taking that one. Alright, cool. And rival, the star is the Marlin 5. See, it's a lot easier. Marlin 5, that is good. Airport, we'll go ahead and do the airport chart as well. Standard domestic taxi routes. Gateway projects. Parking Bays International. This is interesting. There it is. Okay, I got the 10-9 chart. That's gonna be fun. Taxi, looks like. Alright, cool. Got that. That's all good there. Got all the charts on board. And Now let's go ahead and start plugging away at the FMC. Let's go ahead and go deposit in it. We are here at NZAA. We'll go ahead and put that in there. We'll go to the next page and we'll get the GPS location here. We'll put that in. That's good there. And let's go ahead and do a route request and we'll get it from SendBrief. We'll go ahead and select the route. SendBrief wants us off a 2-3 left today, so we'll go ahead and put 2-3 left. We'll go our departure here, and they don't have the departure, so that tells me it's probably a vectors. Load that. That's good. Hold on. 2-6 left. Sorry, 2-3 left. Okay. That's not. Yeah, execute that. It's 2-3 left. Execute. Departure. There we go. Okay, so for departure, this one, and Velmo is going to be the transition. So there's Velmo, got that, input, execute. That's good there. We are Air New Zealand, 1120. That's good there. And we'll go ahead and accept that. Our zero fuel weight, boom, that's good. Less limitation. We could go ahead and come back over here. Okay, cool. My wing views did save. Alright, we could come over here. Let's do our takeoff performance. So import that from the OFP. We'll go ahead and go 2-3 left, and we'll import that from the OFP, and we'll import the weather, and we can hit calculate. Ooh. There we go. Okay, now I can calculate. Site temperature is going to be 46. And that's good there. Flaps are going to be 5 today. That's good. 143, 149, 143, 49, and 156. 156, 2, 1, 4, 9. Rotate speed. That's good there. Perfect. Alright, I think that's all good for that. We're not going to use GSX to board or anything like that, just kind of keeping it quicker, if you will. So we'll go ahead and then start the APU. And yeah, we'll go ahead and we'll also get this to hectopascals. And let's go back to the flight bag. Let's go back to the home. And 1020, that is set there. Set that to RTO, and let's go ahead and run through checklist here. Let's go to the menu, let's go to pre-flight checklist. Oxygen, we can go ahead and test the oxygen back here. That is good, that's tested 100%. Flight instruments is all good there. We'll go back to normal. Before start, flight deck door is closed. MCP V2, we'll go ahead and set that. V2 is 156 today. V2 is in the MCP 156. That is good there. Heading track and altitude, that's set. Well, heading track, I guess we could go runway heading, which I'm assuming is like 231, yeah. That's good there. CDP flight is complete. Trim is set. And takeoff briefing is complete. Then we just got our beacon light on as well. Here's the APU. The APU is online. Let's go ahead and go to our ground connections. We'll go ahead and we'll release the ground power. And we'll remove the chocks. And we'll kind of make sure everything is just out of our way, which it is. The jetway is gone. And we could go ahead and turn on the beacon light. And that checklist is done, and we could go ahead to the before taxi checklist. That's good. Chalks are removed. Let's go ahead and go to 1228 here, and kind of make sure that that is all set up, which it is. All right, we're all good to go, and we'll go ahead and we'll start our pushback here. Alright, wait for GSX to go ahead and set us up here. Let me make sure the audio and everything like that is all good. Alright, let's go ahead and get out of here. We'll go ahead and release the parking brakes. Oh, there we go. Parking brakes are released. Let's go ahead and we could start number 2 first. I'm gonna go back here. Beautiful start at number 2. Let's go ahead and we'll start for 1 here. What's cool about this livery is it has Air New Zealand textures and stuff like that on it for like the the IFEs, stuff like that. Even back here for economy, has all Air New Zealand stuff. Even the safety card, which is pretty cool. Alright, parking brake is set. I don't know why our nose is sinking into the ground, but it is. And we'll blame GSX for that. Always a classic when GSX messes something up. Let's see. Can't look up. What's the most recent safety video? Probably years ago, huh? Thought they had a recent one. It's the most recent one. Let's hear it. Alright, we got a good engine start, and I need you to get our nose out of the ground, please. That'd be much appreciated. Let's go ahead and we'll turn off the APU.
A flying waka real?
Of course they are. They're just a bit more flash these days.
When we talk about waka rere rangi, it speaks to this concept of a canoe in the sky. A waka is a canoe, a rere to fly, a rangi our sky. So that as a concept we really used as a bit of a vehicle to be able to stitch the entire narrative together.
Alright.
The waka is the hero of the safety video. It's the symbol of the Air New Zealand aeroplane in some ways. It is transporting our cast to various different parts of the country, but it's also symbolic of
Oh, it's behind the scenes. Hold on. There we go.
Tihei Mauriora, welcome to our world. I'm going to tell you the story of Tiaki. Tiaki connects us to care for our people, our place, and our culture. And it's also where the hero of our story gets his name.
Tiaki knew that we don't inherit the earth from our ancestors. We only borrow it from our children. So to show us how important it is to care for our beautiful country, Tiaki set out to visit the guardians of this world.
Kia ora and welcome aboard this Air New Zealand flight. Just like Tiaki, Air New Zealand has made a promise to help care for our people, places and culture. So we'll be joining him on this quest.
And helping to keep you safe on board this waka rere rangi, canoe in the sky.
Tiaki also knew that caring for Aotearoa isn't something you can do alone.
I'm keen to come along.
All loose items should be stowed in the overhead locker or under the seat in front of you.
While we're on this epic journey, it's important you obey all crew member instructions, placards, and illuminated signs.
If a seatbelt sign lights up, return to your seat and fasten your seatbelt.
Seatbelts fit low and tight across your hips. Keep them on throughout the flight. If you need to get up, simply lift the lever like so.
Try to smash this. Oh, yeah, there it goes. Boom. Knocked our wing. Hope everyone's paying attention to the safety video.
If an emergency
That's good,
happen during
boom.
takeoff or
Good,
landing,
that's
tighten your
good.
seatbelts and adopt the recommended brace position. Place your forehead on the seat in front, put your feet back and firmly on the floor, and hold your lower legs. In business premiere, sit upright, put your hands on your thighs and feet firmly on the floor.
Tāne Mahuta is the guardian who breathed life into the world and gave us the wonders of the forest, including the very air we breathe.
And if you need air, oxygen masks will fall from above. Place it over your nose and mouth and fit the headband.
Alright, perfect. So that's RTO. That's good there. Flight directors, come on.
Make sure your own mask is fitted before assisting others.
Everything is good there. Everything's auto. That's good.
Tangaroa is the guardian that gives us our oceans, lakes and rivers.
Your life jacket is within easy reach. It's under your seat. They're easy to fasten sitting
We'll do
down.
full
Just
length
rip
here
out
on
the
that
tag,
runway
place
26.
it over your head, clip the straps together and tighten. Only pull on the red tab to inflate after you've exited the aircraft.
We've got life jackets for everyone, even infants.
Remember, Chiaki, that it's important to only take what you need and to put your first catch back. Papatuanuku is our Mother Earth. She's the sand and ice.
Captain ready. Okay, cool. That's good. Let's do our before takeoff. Last fat. That's good. And after takeoff.
While Papatuanuku gives us natural steam, smoking and vaping are not permitted anywhere on this flight, including the lavatories. Charging e-cigarettes is also prohibited.
At night, Ranginui shows us the way home. His stars guide us and connect us to those
And the safety videos here.
those who will come after us.
If we need to evacuate the aircraft, emergency escape path lighting will show you the way to the exit. Lightweight handheld electronic devices can be used at any time but must be switched to flight mode first. And remember, cellular functions must remain off at all times.
Stow larger items in the overhead locker or in a bag underneath the seat in front. If you lose your device in the seat, please call your flight attendant for help. For more information, have a look at the safety card in the seat pocket in front of you, or ask your flight attendant.
Toitu te maraia tāngi. Toitu te maraia Tangaroa. Toitu te tangata.
Thank you for
Everyone
traveling
make sure you're
with
paying
Aotearoa
attention.
Rangi Air New Zealand on this whakarererangi.
We invite all of you to join Te Aki's quest to care for the people, places and culture of Aotearoa.
Alright, everyone took
They're
notes?
still out there.
Everyone's
Caring
good?
for our guardians, showing us the way.
A flying waka real.
Of course they are. They're just a bit more flash these days.
Alright, I hope you guys took notes. We're rocking and rolling. Rotate. How's the rig? Gear up. Last one. We just got through there. There's no traffic. Pops up. Beautiful departure. It's very green, at least you know from the sim. Never really been there, but looks good. go on the climb out. Up to 380. Baddest guys. Here we are, climb out. I think once we're in the climb, since we have a little bit of a cruise, we'll take a look at some Flight Simulator 2024 content. Kind of react to it together. We try to look something up here.
So here's a comparison between.
There we go. That's a good video. We'll wait a little bit until we get further into our cruise here. I've had the sim for so long, yet I've never really bothered to fly internationally. This is only my, I want to say my third flight out of North America. Because I flew from San Francisco to Tokyo a couple times, or to Japan, but I've never gone to, like, for example, like New Zealand or Australia, so it's going to be new for me. I've never really flown to Australia in 2020, or been in this this region, I guess I should say, yet. I'm hoping, this is my first time flying the 777 with the TCA yoke, so I'm hoping my landings are a little bit better. We got a fellow flyer coming out of Auckland then. Wonder where he's going. Let me look it up. Let's see, where's this guy going? He is going to Rio de Janeiro. He's a 777-200. And there's another guy going from Auckland to Sydney, but he's a Qantas 737. Very cool. Time to cross the Coral Sea. Right, cruising along. We'll go ahead and get the seatbelt signs to auto, and we'll go ahead and turn down the sim a little bit here, and let's go ahead and watch this video. I've been curious about the graphic differences between 2020 and 2024 because they both look really good, but I'm just curious on how much of a jump it is. So let's go ahead and we'll watch this video. Shout out to Obsidian Ant. He does really good content, really good videos. So let's go ahead
The
and
graphics and
watch it.
visuals of Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 and MSFS 2020. Two editions of the game essentially side by side. Now, full disclosure here for clarity, just so everyone understands the context. I didn't attend the recent Microsoft preview event.
I like they added different types of like greenery, so you can see that all the ferns and all the different types of plants that you would see in the Amazon is here, and I think that's the alligator and stuff. But I like how they added the different types of greenery instead of just regular trees and putting trees everywhere. It's a variety, and I feel like that's like one of the things that gives a certain location in the world its unique features. Is not only the landscape, like if you fly to the Caribbean, you want to see those turquoise blue waters. If you fly to Hawaii, you want to see those volcanic mountains. I think plants are another another one of those things, right? So if you go to somewhere tropical, you want to see more palm trees than just normal trees. So it's good that they're adding different types of trees and stuff.
For this game, I was unable to go there, even though I was invited. The footage on screen here is based on screenshots that Microsoft sent over to me, and I've put them together so we can compare the two versions of the game side by side. Now, it seems that Microsoft have taken these photos from the two different versions of the sim in exactly the same locations. The locations, for the most part, are listed on the screen. I've done that by taking that from the available information, although not all the screenshots contained the relevant.
Yeah, even like the forest, I like.
The available
This looks really good.
For the most part, are listed on the screen. I've done that by taking that from.
Because like, look at the trees; they're just normal like trees, but then it goes here. It's mossy rocks, it's pine trees. It gives you more of that feel, that realistic feel.
In terms of the visuals between the two different versions of the sim.
Like that pine trees here a little bit, but look how more detailed these trees are.
The version has the ability to get out of your plane and walk around. And that means that all of the areas, or many of the areas in the sim, are going to need to be very high detailed when you're close to the ground. So Microsoft have used a number of techniques to achieve this. Primarily, so far at least, they've discussed 3D tessellation, which is deforming and using additional triangles on surfaces.
Yeah, the details on the trees are just so much better. They look so good. Really excited.
The ground surfaces themselves are also procedurally generated in terms of the objects that are on them.
Looks really good.
The grass, the flowers, rocks and trees, and many other such things. Another thing you'll notice as we work through these screenshots is the improvement to lighting. So the new version of the sim has a completely new lighting system.
Like look at the shore. The shore and a lot of places like the beaches and stuff like that, they just look like it's just a Google image or a Bing image or whatever. But look at the rocks and stuff that they added in. So instead of it just being like this image, this blurry image, they added objects on top of that. So all the rocks and stuff, which is nice.
From all the objects that are illuminated to the world environment itself. Now I'm also going to stick on this particular screenshot for a while because there's something I really want you to notice, and that is the clouds. Now Microsoft have said that the clouds have been improved vastly in Flight Sim 2024. Look at
the clouds look really good.
Orientate themselves around Mount Fuji here. Lovely stuff.
There's
also going to be
really good.
cloud layers such as cirrus cloud, so that's going to be very nice to see as well. Here's another look at just the improvement in the ground itself.
Because the trees are just blurred, but like the trees in 2024 are just so much better.
Talking of which, many of the screenshots are low down to the ground, but here's a few with some altitude. The Grand Canyon itself is a particularly interesting example. I'm going to stay on this screenshot for a little bit longer. But one thing that's happened here is that the digital elevation maps, the digital data used for the Grand Canyon has, as far as I understand it at least, been changed to a resolution of 50 centimeters. This is an absolutely massive deal because obviously, well, the results speak for themselves. Just look at the quality here. You can also notice some of the new cloud layers up in the top
looks really good.
corner of these screenshots. Looks really, really nice, doesn't it? Now, another thing that I'm sure plenty of you will be pleased to know, and some of you may have some concerns about due to the sheer graphical processing power that's going to be required for this, and more on that subject in a bit, is that this version of the sim is going to have ray tracing. So that's something that people have wanted for
like the snow tracks and stuff like that. That's awesome.
but a very long time, but finally it is going to happen, although it turns out in a different version of the sim. Now, something I really like in these last few screenshots is the level of realism. So
Gotta love the giraffe, gotta love the animals getting added.
The grass in these areas just
That'll make it really
feels
interesting.
natural.
Go animal
Same is
spotting.
so for the beaches here.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, like the palm trees and stuff like that. So obviously there's somewhere in the Caribbean or somewhere tropical. Look at these trees, like it's just like a blur, it's just a blob. But now they have actual palm trees and stuff like that to really help, you know,
Also,
pick up the realism.
The fact that the trees are correctly situated. You're not getting random trees in random locations, but you're now getting the correct type of trees in the correct world regions. So there you have it. A bit of a comparison between
Wow,
the
Yosemite looks
graphics
really
that
good.
that we've got so far of Flight Sim 2020 and 2024.
It's gonna be really good for bush flying because
Unfortunately,
the
no
creeks and
actual
stuff like that look a lot
footage
better.
to compare side by side yet, but I think this gives us some indication of what we can expect and roughly where we can hope to see some of the improvements, or where we know we're going to see some of the improvements. Now, talking of the game's performance, well, this is obviously going to be very, very demanding. Recently, Microsoft have released the system requirements for this. I'm sure many of you will have already seen that, but I'm going to recap on that.
Yeah, my
topic in this
system
video
is the
because it is
recommended.
relevant to the overall subject.
So
Now, I'm
hopefully I'll
going
be
to go
okay.
over that for those of you who haven't had the chance to see this yet. So we've got 3 separate system specifications.
Because I should say I have the ideal, because I have a 7900 XE and I have a 7800 X3D. I have 12 gigabytes of the VRAM, the VRAM, and I only have 32 gigabytes of the normal RAM, so we'll see.
Here, minimum spec, recommended spec, and ideal spec. The thing that really stands out for me here is the graphics cards, and then the RAM usage. So for minimum spec, they're asking for 16 gigabytes. Recommended spec is 32 gigabytes, and then we have the big one here. That the ideal spec for Flight Sim 2024 is 64 gigabytes of RAM. So yeah, this one has certainly drawn the attention of quite a few people because 64 gigabytes is certainly a lot of RAM. I don't think that amount of people out there with gaming rigs will have this amount of RAM. In fact, if we take a look at Steam's hardware survey as of August 2024, we can get some pretty precise results. They say that just 3% of people, a little over 3.25% of people, have 64 gigs of RAM, with a third of a percent of people having more than 64 gigs of RAM. Meanwhile, around about 47% of people have 16 gigs of RAM, with
I only have 32 gigabytes. I wonder why it needs so much RAM.
And I'm glad to see that Microsoft are supporting both 16 gigs here and 32 gigs, but that they're also pushing it all the way up to 64 for those who have the hardware. After all, Flight Sim has always been about pushing the limits. Now, in terms of graphics cards, on the minimum spec, we've got a GTX 970. That's a pretty old graphics card at this point. Recommended spec is an RTX 2080, and the ideal spec is an RTX 4080. Finally, got a bit of information here, which is certainly going to be somewhat restricted.
Let's see what other content has been released. I saw the 707 came out. That's interesting. That'll be a fun one. Oh, look at Air Force Proud.
Good evening and welcome to this professional overview of Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024.
Always a classic with Air Force Proud.
Freaks and are excited for GTA 6. Many of us are excited about Flight Simulator 2024. I will be providing you a brief overview of the new sim to be released in November. There will be 4 tiers available for purchase, including Standard, Deluxe, Premium Deluxe, and Aviator. Some other things include a lot of planes, that you can simulate flying around. Among these aircraft include the Boeing 737 MAX, Boeing 747 Dreamlifter,
The Dreamlifter would be
Airbus
interesting.
Beluga Transporter, whatever the this is, and Boeing 747 Fire Tanker. As we can see in this preview, there will
Fire Tanker would
be
also
hot
be
air
interesting.
balloons, but I will not be impressed until I see one achieve 400 knots. In addition to new missions and activities, there will even be a career mode, which comes with a reputation that you have based on your flight performance. In that case, I hope they have also simulated federal prisons, anticipating my reputation failure. I also hope that the character seeks the necessary medical attention that he very clearly needs. I was honored to have been invited to the global preview event at the Grand Canyon to get some first hands-on time in the new Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. This included a Humvee tour and a helicopter flight of the actual Grand Canyon, which I found less impressive
Wow, that's crazy.
than the version in Microsoft Flight Simulator. I don't know what Mother Nature's specs are, but she needs to step her game up. During my hands-on time at the preview event, I chose the Boeing 737 MAX to do traffic patterns at JFK and launch myself into violently unrealistic thunderstorms. All jokes aside, the new weather engine is absolutely stunning, but jokes back in play, the 737 MAX didn't encounter any catastrophic structural failures, which I found very disappointing. There are so many other improvements, including photometric lighting, advanced ray tracing for shadows, improved pre-flight planning, faster cloud-based installation and updates, EFB integration, and many other things which I don't fully understand. I do feel the need to clarify that it is largely based on Flight Sim 2020, but with many additional improvements and features. In other good news, the weird 767 A330 hybrid will finally be knocked out of the gene pool because 91% of air traffic AI will be realistic to real-world standards.
Oh, let's go.
There are enhancements
That's perfect.
coming to the FS 2024 marketplace, which allows you to rent add-ons rather than only making full-on purchases.
You
What I'm
rent
most
add-ons? That's
excited for
interesting.
about the sim is the red guy in the cockpit with the yoke up his ass. I thought this was a fantastic touch, and even though the developers came around and said, "Give us a minute, we need to fix this," I implored them to let him stay. I think it really enhances the feel, the realism, the overall vibe of the sim, and I really prefer it. I told them adamantly at the end of the event to please let the red guy stay, and they said, haha, laughed uncomfortably, and said maybe we will release him as a freeware add-on. Although the red guy was a mere character glitch, it was fixed, and I thoroughly enjoyed my first test flight in the new simulator. After a semi-successful landing, we did have an A380 skid across all runways and taxiways in the most unexplained way that even the developers monitoring wondered and laughed what the hell was happening.
Somebody's calling a phone number.
It appeared the A380 was just searching for the nearest watering hole, seeking rehydration. Thank you
That's
again,
funny.
Microsoft, for the invite.
Yeah, that's
Good evening and
that's
welcome
good.
to this
It looks really good. I'm really excited for the Max. I think it will be an interesting base platform for a mod like the 5-hour A320 Neo was. So that would be definitely pretty interesting. Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 is unmasked. So experience. Let's see it.
Alright, just got out of the first ever presentation of Microsoft Flight Sim 2024. I'm very overwhelmed.
Gotta love Blue Games.
I know what to
Seems
say.
like a great guy.
There's so much information to digest and understand, and I'm just kind of overwhelmed with excitement. And yeah, things gonna be good. I think it's looking good. But next up, I get to get my hands on and play Microsoft Flight Sim 2024 for the first time, and so I can't wait for that. So we'll go in there right now and see if we get our hands on and play Microsoft Flight Sim 2024 for the first time. Walk in here. Now I can't show you guys the screens, but I can at least get this far. So let's see the gameplay.
All right, here we are in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024.
It is really cool to create
When you
your own
first launch the
character.
game, you start by creating and customizing your avatar's identity, and there are a lot of options here. You can start with a preset, pre-made avatar, or you could dive in and really make it your own. As you can see, they've added a ton of characters from different regions and nationalities. And there's a lot of different faces and skin tones that you can choose from. And you can change your hairstyle. A lot of options here for that and for headwear. You can also change your apparel, like your glasses, shirts.
That's so funny that they're making a character.
Do you want to dress more
That's great.
casual or suit up like a captain? It's up to you. And look, you can even change your voice. There's a bunch of presets here, or you can record and use your own voice.
Pickup zone in sight, guys.
The sky is calm.
Rotate at VR positive rate. Entering spray zone, guys. Adjusting altitude for optimal coverage.
Man, I could spin
Oh my
so
gosh,
much
that's
time
crazy.
with
You
all
could
the
add your
different
own
times
voice to
and
that.
sets
That's
of movement. Once you finish your
that's
avatar,
funny.
you move
You
on
can
to
create your
the
own lines.
main menu with a whole new look. We'll go through each of these game modes.
I like that
First, on top,
menu.
we
It looks
have
a lot more
World
modern.
Photography. And on the left, we have activities. The challenge league, our career mode is on the right, and then there's the normal free flight. And on the bottom, we have
Yeah, I like the
First,
new
let's take a look
UI.
at
It looks
world
better.
photography. And it's exactly what it sounds like. You basically go around the world taking photos in game of specific points of interest. They have
That'd be an
requests
interesting
have
video
a
idea to do that.
time of day or certain weather or certain objects
take
in the
pictures.
shot at the same time to
I think that'd be a
actually
fun
pass the objective.
video to
It's
do.
a fairly interesting game mode. Not sure how much I'm going to use it myself, but it might be more fun than we think. It's definitely a good way of kind of showcasing some of those really beautiful locations in the world that might usually get overlooked. It's also a great way to get shots of the wildlife.
Elephants are good, and the moose and the meese. Is that the plural for moose? Meese?
Activities are basically where all of our familiar landing challenges and
Yeah, activities are
air
good.
racing
Flight training will
and
be
low
interesting
altitude
too.
challenges are all kind of located
Rally race
and
would be
bundled
fun.
together, as well as the flight training missions. They've added a bunch more than what we had in 2020, but many of the missions and challenges we had back in 2020 have been moved over to 2024 as well.
Let's see. Let me give 1 second here. Sorry, I just want to make sure everything is good. We're at 8:04. Right now, our progress. No step climb needed. We're already at 380. That's good there. On the 777, where's the top of descent? Is there a way to find that? Or no? That's why. Oh, I forgot to put in the arrival. That would help a lot, wouldn't it? Let's see. Let's go ahead and go back here. We're gonna go ahead and put in the arrival because I totally forgot to do that, I guess. And that's why it's not giving us our top descent. It's gonna be the Marlin, or excuse me, no, arrival here. A Marlin 5. Boom. Cool. Now if I go to progress, does it show me? Top of the descent is just after Bulga. Does it say though? This report, progress, position reference. Does it say when we're going to top of descent? So it just says next. Next page, next page, next page, FOMO. Yeah, it doesn't say top of descent though. I just know that it's after Beluga. So, I'm assuming we have a while to Beluga. So, we'll just go ahead and continue on. Just wanted to make sure. Alright, let's go ahead and continue.
That does include the bush trips and the discovery flights. So if you enjoyed the activities back in 2020, there's definitely going to be plenty more to do here for you. And next we have the Challenge League. This is a completely new game mode for 2024. And this is actually a weekly challenge. It's just like the normal landing challenges, except they've highlighted a few different types of events for the entire community to kind of challenge each other on a weekly basis. Although I'm not really sure what the actual prize is, except for bragging rights. And of course we have career mode, which is exactly that. It's the career mode. That's where you can do your aerial firefighting, industrial cargo missions, all of that fun stuff is going to be in the career
That looks
mode.
good.
Managing, owning, and creating a company, all of that's going to be in the career mode. But I've already done a full in-depth video on exactly what that looks like, how it works, so stay tuned for that one. And of course down here we also have the free flight. That's the exact same game mode that we had back in 2020. It just allows you to go out there and fly wherever you want, in whatever you want, whenever you want. And then down here on the bottom we have the marketplace. And there's actually some really interesting features they've added to the marketplace. So as you can see here, there's going to be a brand new marketplace.
Yeah, renting is definitely interesting.
Much easier to
Rent an item for a
navigate,
limited
new
period of
categories
time
and filters,
with the option to
whole new
purchase for a
rating
discounted
system.
price.
This is the big one.
That's
Instead of
a
having
good
to buy
idea.
an aircraft full price, you can actually either do a free trial of an aircraft, or you can actually now rent an aircraft. I actually really love these options.
That's a
And
really good
with the
idea.
marketplace, you can access both your Microsoft Flight Sim 2024 content and 2020 content. And that's it for the new main menu. All right, let's go see what's new in Free Flight. You can see we still have a very similar view, a bit of slightly different UI. We can still move around the globe and look at all different airports around the world. So very similar to what we had before. Choose our aircraft. So we have an aircraft list here. Any aircraft you see on this list that are grayed out, that is because I don't currently have those aircraft installed, so I can't have access to them in this current build that I'm using right now. But one of the updates for Microsoft Flight Sim 2024 is that you're supposed to be able to actually stream your aircraft to you now. You don't have to have all your aircraft actually downloaded on the system to hopefully
That's
save
interesting.
space. We'll see how that works exactly.
Yeah.
But at the moment they're advertising that we're going to be able to stream the planes just like we've been streaming the scenery. So we'll see how good or bad that works out. There's a lot of aircraft available to us in Microsoft Flight Sim 2024. I also have another video detailing every single aircraft coming with the standard deluxe and premium deluxe edition, so definitely check out that video. But here's a bit of a sneak peek here of all the aircraft that we can get.
Yeah, all the planes look really good.
Oh my god. So of course I'm going to choose 737 MAX because why not? I'm going to choose my hometown, KIAH, set that as departure, and then we'll fly up to Phoenix. It's a real world flight that I did to get out here to the Grand Canyon. Set that as arrival, and then we'll try out the new navigation tools we have here. You can see here it has kind of a different tag there. You can see the actual weather and how far the flight is, how much fuel we're going to use on the flight. We'd also go ahead and click on the EFB, which is a brand new feature in Microsoft Flight Sim 2024.
I wonder how useful the EFB and stuff like that will be, because I mean we're going to be using third-party add-ons anyway, so it's like it's a cool feature, but
Flight plan right here with the departure, with arrivals, all of that stuff. All the typical procedures for that airport are right there and available. And this in-game EFB or
I feel like
or
that
flight
can't
plan is
replace
actually
SimBrief. I
really
think
decent. I'm
SimBrief is
really
just going to keep
surprised
being
just
good
how
at
much you can do here. You can set up your weight and balance in here. You can do performance planning. I mean, it does a lot. And what we're seeing right now is, again, not the final version, not the final build. It is still missing some features. So I'm not going to go too deep into how this works just yet. But again, I will do another video explaining a bit more on all of the capabilities of this new flight plan. But already in this particular version, I'm already very impressed. So we will come back to that, don't you worry. Okay, let's go flying. We are
Hey,
at
Sana.
Ride,
How you doing, man?
72, and one of my favorite airports in the world to fly out of. Very high elevation.
Is that
Let's go
someone?
ahead and,
Is
we're
that
already
someone
loaded up on the
dapping?
runway. Let's put the power forward. One, there we go. Nice. All right. So power is fully in. We'll make sure we try to keep center line here. Again, remember this airport has a very high elevation. We're sitting at 9,000 feet right now. Our altimeter is probably off. I don't think that's completely accurate, but look at this. Look at this. This is gorgeous.
Maybe that.
Wow. Also notice that you don't get those.
This image we can see a plane flying in the air. Yes.
That has now finally been fixed. Anyways, airspeed is alive,
Yes, we
slowly
can.
climbing up against a very highly elevated.
Where did this person say he was?
Probably all this runway to get in the air. We're gonna try to get up as soon as we can. It's 58 knots. Nose is already trying to come up just a little, but we don't have enough lift to get off the ground here. 65.
Where did he go?
It's probably elevate. We'll make my favorites. Go flying. We are in Telluride in the Cessna 172. Okay, let's go flying. We are in Telluride in the Cessna 172.
I don't know where Telluride is.
And one of my favorite airports in the world to fly out of a very high elevation. Let's go ahead and we're already loaded up on the runway. Let's put the power forward. One, there we go. Nice. All right. So power is fully in. We'll make sure we try to keep center line here. Again, remember, this airport has a very high elevation. We're sitting at 9,000 feet right now. Our altimeter is probably off. I don't think that's completely accurate, but look at this. Look at this. This is gorgeous. Wow. Also notice that you don't get those.
Yeah, the trees looks really good
on the runway anymore. That has now finally been fixed. Anyways, airspeed is alive, slowly climbing up against a very highly elevated airfield. It's gonna take us probably all this runway to get in the air. We're gonna try to get up as soon as we can. There's 58 knots. Nose is already trying to come up just a little, but we don't have enough lift to get off the ground here. 65, and I'm trying. Here we are. We are up. All right, don't put the nose up too much. Nice shallow climb. Look at this view. You can actually see some of those cirrus clouds.
It looks really good.
Way up in the sky.
The sun looks really good.
But here it is. Here's a big drop off at the end of the mountain. We got to tell you, right? Look at those trees. You can see some of the fall colors starting to come in too, because it is September when I'm recording this. So Microsoft,
yeah, that's cool that they had it added seasons.
Seasons now. So this is going to be a really fun winter when this sim comes out. Look at that view off the left wing. I'm telling you, the trees really make a big difference. Like, I know, you know, people probably don't understand is how big of a difference. Like, trees take up so much of the scenery when you're flying around. Obviously, trees, water, the sky. And if you can get those details right in a flight sim, it will really transform.
That's really awesome.
And the trees weren't that bad in 2020. I can't say I've ever really complained about them too much. But this is a massive upgrade.
Yeah, that looks like a huge upgrade. That's awesome.
Flying really nicely too. Even though we're kind of underpowered here, pretty high density altitude out in this area. But aircraft is a little sluggish because of that lack of power because of the altitude, but doing all right. All right, roll to the right so we can turn around and land back into Telluride in the opposite direction. Look at this view, guys. Look at this. Just take it in.
Yeah, the trees and everything look really good.
Wow. So many places that I want to go to. So many places I want to explore. This is just one of the first that came to mind. All right, pull the power back and we'll get prepared for landing here. Landing back into Telluride. Don't want to come too far in the power though, because again, we are still pretty darn high up. It's gonna actually take a decent amount of power to get landed onto this, almost like landing an aircraft carrier here. Watch out for the forces as well as the updrafts and downdrafts come up the side of this mountain. Might get some here right before we reach the end of the runway. Keep that power in just slightly. Try to line up on the center line here. Oh man, this looks nice. Look at the mountains in the distance, the clouds, trees, the grass, everything. A whole package. All right, here we go. A little bit of a late flare. Keep her center. Kind of smashed it a little bit, but not too bad. I'll take it and tell you right. All right, we are down and on the center line. Not too bad. Not too bad for a little Cessna flight. Let me show you something else really cool, really quickly as we roll out. And see, I know that they're supposed to have skid marks. Look at the suspension bouncing on that right and left wheel, and the wheel smoke we saw there too. You can see that suspension actually bending there. Look at that skid marks as well as they slam on the brakes.
Oh, that's cool. They have
Put the
skid
power
marks.
and I'll slam on the brakes. I'll show you the skid marks here. Check this out. Look at that.
Skid marks. That's awesome.
Why am I getting so excited about skid marks? But yeah, hey, it's part of it. Very nice. And we screeched to a stop in the Cessna 172 in Telluride. Hey, how you doing? I'm a new co-pilot. Interior looks pretty good here in the CL415. I just want to do a really quick landing in this aircraft. If you do pre-order Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024, I do believe you get access to this aircraft in Microsoft Flight Sim 2020. So you can get access to this aircraft right now, today, in Microsoft Flight Sim 2020.
That's not worth it.
24. Anyways,
I
want to kind
like.
of bring this down for a water landing and try out some of the water physics and see what the water effects look like as well. I've been told very good things about it. I think Microsoft Flight Sim 2024 has been improved in a lot of areas that we might overlook, and I feel like the water and amphibious area might be one of those areas that we may overlook. Also, this aircraft is typically used for water bombing and firefighting missions and things like that. I've honestly personally never flown a plane like this before, but it looks pretty cool. It flies pretty nicely as well. It actually has a massive yoke in there, so as we rock to the right, look at those engine heat effects there. Very nice. Very nice. Look at all the ship traffic too. Lots of new ships have been added. Microsoft.
Yeah, the
Flight
traffic
Simulator.
looks good.
Might be too many ships. There's a lot of boats out here. We're just gonna bank down here so we can find a place to land. Come in for landing. Look at that sunset too, reflecting off of the water. That's pretty nice. You see the engine exhaust coming off the back of our props. Right, we put our nose into the sun, and oh my God, look at the water effects.
They look good. I don't know what they look like in 2020, but
I definitely
that
came
looks
in too
good.
hot, so that's why we're bouncing like crazy. But look at the water effects when we come down. We're running out of water here. I have to turn left a little bit. Look at that. You know what? I might have to be a plain boat pilot. Is that what you call it? A plain boat pilot? I might have to do this more often. Even with the reversers on this thing, you see it flash up. Look at the wake coming up. Yeah, I'm gonna
Yeah, the
have
wake
to
looks good too.
dedicate some more time to flying some amphibious aircraft.
That looks really good.
All right, we are running out of time, but before we go, let's take a look at the Max 8, 737 Max 8. Look at the engine heat coming off the back of those jet engines right there. But the aircraft looks pretty good from this angle. I gotta say, 3D model looks pretty nice, and it looks like a 737 Max. It looks pretty accurate. Nothing looks off or weird or disproportional. So 3D model looks accurate. I'm liking the engine blades there as well. The cowlings are looking good.
Yeah, it looks pretty solid. Like I said, I think it's going to be a good base mod.
So ignore that. I'm not going to look too much into the texture because the reflections are a little off in this shot. But it's looking pretty good, looking pretty solid. And I can't wait to fly this baby. I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to look really good. It's going to look really good. And here we are in the cockpit of the Max. And it looks pretty good in here too. I'm not going to say that I'm blown away. Right? It's not like, oh my God, it looks so amazing. It's more like, hey, it's a Max. I'm excited for a Max, and it looks like a Max. That's what matters. Hopefully it flies like a Max, and flies well, flies clean, flies smooth, flies realistic. That's what it's most important. I want to have a realistic, immersive experience. And so as long as they don't break me out of that realistic, immersive experience, I'll be just fine. But it's going to take some testing. It's going to take some flying, and sadly,
yeah, I'm sure it's
don't
really
have
good.
the time to do that today. But I will have a dedicated video going through the Boeing 737 Max, and I can't wait to show you guys that one. But
yeah, it looks really, really good.
Thank you guys so much for watching.
I think the new sim looks incredible, and I can't wait to get it. Definitely a lot of improvements, and especially if what they're saying is true. Basically, where 2020 products will be able to literally just drag and drop into the to be dropped into the community folder, I should say. So 2020 products are supposed to be able to be just drop into the 2020 into the 2024 community folder, and everything's supposed to be working. So that'll be interesting. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and grab some coffee real quick. So I'll be right back. Nobody's on, huh? Lord. You guys are enjoying this cruise? Hoping to talk about whatever you guys want to talk about. Want to just hang out? Want the music turned down? Do you want it turned up? Whatever. We're going to be cruising for a little bit. No ATC so far in Sydney that I could see. And we got a little bit away here. If I pulled up this. Unload that. I'm going to import. Still cruising here. Crazy how little waypoints there are. Got this one waypoint here, and then right into the arrival. Weather. I don't think there's a weather overlay on this one. Okay. No, telemetry. Brown, day or night. I don't think there's weather on this one. Oh well. Wonder if there's any weather going on in Sydney. really hoping the TCAO helps me with my landing in Sydney, because last time I did a landing in the 777, it was not good. I had my other cheap yoke, so hopefully there's an improvement. Is everybody else here excited for 2024, or is that just me? I know we watched some content about it earlier. I think it's going to be a game changer for sure. Almost reaching the midpoint here. Halfway there. Everybody else excited for 2024? I know I am. What's going to be your favorite plane to fly in 2024? Let me know. almost ready for our final descent. Let's go ahead and take a look at this. So we're gonna go to Marlin. Bottom altitude for this is going to be 6,000 feet, so at 6,000 here. $6,000 is set. That is good there. Next thing we could do is we'll go over our arrival here. We'll go to update the weather here. 0 at 11. As is arriving on our left. Let's go to arrivals. ILS 3 left. We'll go ahead and execute that there. Let's look at the airport page, and we'll also pull up the ILS page for left, and that one as well. So for left here, nice big runway, perfect for us. And the 3-4 left localizer here, and we'll plug that in as well. So it's 110.1. So go ahead and open up 110.1. Good. Cool. Okay, let's go to 110.1. That is already set in there. That's good then. Alright, we like that. That's good. That's set. Altitude are set. Basically, we're going to descend down, and we'll vector ourselves for the ILS. So that's good there. Go ahead and look at our descent checklist. Recall was checked. Notes. That's good there. Let's go ahead and do our performance here. So let's go ahead and go to our performance. Go to landing, import this, and we'll do weather, calculate this. The distance of 1,002. Look here. Go ahead and triggers 30. Right. Let's do 30. Why is this biggest 1,000? Yeah, this one's better. Okay, we're gonna do flaps 30. Operate. Auto brakes. 3. Auto brakes 3. Flaps 30. There. That looks good to me. Alright, perfect. Looking good. Our first pass here. here we go. Approaching top of descent.
100. 50. 30. 20. 10.